somehow we get this flawed logic that we must wear ourselves out in order to take care of the people we love and handle all the adulting responsibilities. It's like the less sleep you get, the less healthy meals you eat. Shoot, if you even eaten meals. Or the less you show up on your own list or agenda. That must mean you're being a great mom or employee or business owner and all the other roles that you fill. When you hear it out loud, doesn't it just sound off? There is another way, a better boosted life way. We have got to turn this burnout lifestyle into a better boosted lifestyle. For years, I ran hard. My way of life was running until the wheels fall off. I wore the Burnout Lifestyle badge of honor proudly, honey. But who was I really serving when I was constantly handing out leftovers? Let's face it, lack of sleep, not eating right, or practicing self-care on a regular basis was all a recipe for leftovers because there was nothing fresh about what I was serving up. While leftovers might be really good the next day, not so much as the days go on. So which leftovers are you giving to yourself and others? Do you really want to even be serving leftovers or serve it up fresh? I knew all the signs of burnout and followed every single one every time. However, self-improvement requires us to get honest and look at ways to improve our life. While we go full speed meeting everyone else's needs, our needs deserve to be addressed too. In fact, the more we take care of ourselves, the better we are able to take care of others. Listen to discover how to go from living the burnout lifestyle with a badge of honor to living a better boosted life as you intended at your absolute best. Encouragers unite! This is for you if you don't have the positive support you need to chase your dreams while doing all the things. Or maybe you just need those positive vibes from other positive people doing positive things. You want to do self-improvement together to be great throughout all the areas of your life. If this is you, you found your tribe. I go live once a month, and this is also where we collaborate because together we can do so much more. Join now, and you get to help me create a community we love that serves and supports us in all the right ways. Let's build it together in the Encouragers Unity. We can all use more encouragement in our lives, so click the link in show notes to get started now, and I'll see you inside. In the midst of doing all the things, you can do all things and chase your dreams. Stay encouraged as we go on this journey called life, tackling everything that comes our way while we shine our light despite any circumstances we face. No more downplaying or dimming your light, because through the good, the bad, and everything in between, together we can encourage over everything. Encourager, hey! Let's talk burnout. For years, I ran hard. My way of life was running until the wheels fell off. I mean, I would take off time occasionally for appointments here and there if I couldn't handle it after work. And, take a week off for my birthday or a couple weeks off at the holidays. But other than that, yo girl was working, being a single mom and handling all the usual adulting duties. It had gotten so bad to the point to where I was close to stop accruing vacation time. Never do you be forced to take off time because you are about to hit the cap. It was proof I wasn't taking enough downtime, and looking back, no wonder I was exhausted, had an attitude more often than not, focused so heavily on the negative and all that was going wrong, and really just operating in burnout mode. Shoot, for me, I needed a nap. These nerves needed to reset, honey. You'd be amazed at what a nap can do. I also needed some time to just be, reconnect to me, rest, and actually be on my own list. What's crazy is I knew burnout was real, and yet I followed the same path to get there every time. Karen White said, "I'm not your superwoman." And yet that's exactly what I was trying to be, day in and day out, year after year after year. Then once a month, I was getting my massage, but even that just wasn't cutting it. I needed more than one 60 to 90-minute session every 30 days. But more importantly, I needed to turn it around because the burnout lifestyle, it just isn't sustainable. I'm speaking to you heart to heart here because I realized something. I became someone who lived on leftovers. Now, there's nothing wrong with some good old leftovers, okay? I am still a fan. Give me some spaghetti from the night before as my lunch the next day. All the flavors and had a chance to marinate. Ooh, talk about heaven on earth. Some things taste better as leftovers because all the seasoning and had a chance to blossom and do their thing, give it that full body experience. While leftovers can be delicious, the next day, the more the days go on, the flavor is lost and it starts to go bad. If you don't catch it quickly, when it goes bad, it'll even start to smell and look like something straight out of a science experiment. You might even open up your fridge and try and figure out what that smell is. And then it's like, can you even save this dish? Just like those leftovers, me living that burnout lifestyle would hit the same way. My attitude was pretty stank. I wasn't operating at my best, so my performance was bland and lacking as much flavor as it could have. Without the proper rest and taking care of myself, you could see it showing up on my skin, the bags underneath my eyes. I mean, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If we aren't careful, we start to look like we're a part of some kind of a science experiment. What's wild is, even though I knew how this whole burnout thing goes down, I'd keep pushing it. Yep, I even let myself get to that point to when my body would just break down and get sick. Then, ta-da, officially, now we're all a part of the science experiment, okay? All just to get well and go back through the same process all over again. But let's pause here for a moment and really sit with this. Because running until the wheels fall off isn't sustainable. That's why things start breaking down. This badge of honor I wore, and many of us do. We are proud to be a part of hashtag Team No Sleep because we've put in all the work, doing all the parenting duties, and then all while not doing one thing for ourselves. Aside from living off of coffee and stealing a few bites here and there as we make meals for everyone else, but not really having a full meal ourselves. Have you ever been there and done that? I know I have. Don't get me wrong. If you need the several cups of coffee and to snack all day, do your thing. I totally get there are seasons in our life in which the college student nourishment is a way of life. But even then, at some point, you graduate and start eating meat or real meals, right? Even then, we know we should eat better, rest, and take care of ourselves. So while those seasons exist, and sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, it is not meant to be sustainable for extended periods of time. Somehow we get this flawed logic that we must wear ourselves out in order to take care of the people we love and handle all of the adulting responsibilities. It's like the less sleep you get, the less healthy meals you eat. Shoot, if you even eaten a meal. The less you show up on your own agenda or list, that must mean that you're being a great parent, employee, business owner, and all the other roles that you fill. When you hear it out loud, doesn't it just sound off? Yet we do this for years and feel guilty if we meditate every day for a few minutes, lock ourselves in the bathroom for a bath, or even just go to lunch by ourselves. just to recharge. This is why I'm so passionate about self-care. I am on a mission to change this way of thinking because the truth of the matter is, when you live the burnout lifestyle, you give others as well as yourself the leftovers. While you may think that you're being your best for those in your life that you love and care so much for, when you are mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausted, you are giving them your leftovers. When you are doing your absolute best that you can with little sleep, low energy, and short nerves, you are giving the leftovers to all those you love. That means what's left is the really old leftovers that are going bad, have little taste, and even worse, they smell bad and have grown moldy and oldie. I know you want to give your best to everyone around you, and the best way to do that is as your highest self. In order to operate from that place, you have to invest in your self-care on a regular basis, preferably daily. For me, the shift happened once my mom passed. As I gained a newfound reverence for life, I didn't want to live the burnout lifestyle anymore. All the time I spent thinking that I was doing all this work to be a great mom, performer at work, and everywhere else that I had to serve, it was all at the expense of me, which just cost too dang much. You are worthy of self-care every day, not just on a Sunday. As you do all the things and chase your dreams, self-care has to be a major part of your day-to-day life. Giving yourself what you need is the key to being able to give everybody else what they need. If you're having a hard time making sure your self-care is on your list, get all the deets in the Encourager's Insider Guide to Self-Care. These free, easy DIY tips for simple ways to make self-care a part of your daily routine, plus some bonus goodies. Get your free Encourager's Guide to Self-Care because you deserve to be a priority on your list. Grab it right on the blog or theshow.encourageovereverything.com/self-care freebie. No more being last on your list. Grab it today and give yourself the gift of self-care. It was really on me to take care of my kiddos, and I needed to be at my best to do it. And here's how I did it. First things first, you gotta have a self-care mindset. Everything is a mindset, and having a self-care mindset is crucial. There is a shift to go from thinking self-care is selfish to understanding self-care is smart, because it's required for your success. Putting yourself on the back burner disconnects you from your true self. And once you're out of touch, it's hard to know who you are. And operating from that place is just not ideal. It also teaches others that you require to be on the back burner because you teach people how to treat you. And when they see you putting yourself dead last, it's easy for them to place you right there too. Okay, your needs are important. It doesn't make you selfish to care for your own needs. It makes you smart. There is not one person alive that is going to look out for you the way that you do. You can have all the love in the world, but the love of numero uno sets the tone for everything else in your life. Imagine really, truly taking care of yourself on a daily basis. I mean, some folks have a better skincare routine than they have a self-care routine. Just like you invest in your skin, invest in your self-care. You need those healthy deposits in yourself. As you shift into a self-care mindset, explore the ideas that show you deserve to reset and recharge on the daily in order to show up as your best self in all the roles and relationships that you have. Truthfully, your kids don't want to see you run down. Your spouse doesn't want to see you frazzled, which is why they come in trying to solve problems. The people you love and care for want to see you well and happy. Yes, they want their needs met too, but Don't get me wrong, okay? Because they for sure got their list and they want you to do all these things. But they want them met by the best version of you. They don't want your leftovers. When you sit down to enjoy a meal and it's hot from the chef's kitchen, the aroma's amazing, the taste explodes in your mouth, and when the ambiance hit just right, it's dang near euphoric. There is nothing like having what feels like the best meal of your life while it's fresh. Your people, they want you fresh, okay? Yes, the next day is good in a different way, but nothing compares to fresh. Embrace the idea that when you put your life vest on first, you're able to help so many more. You ain't helping nobody if you are passed out somewhere, broke down to your brake pads. It's smart to be on your own list and agenda. Once your needs are met, you are rested, energized to do all the things, and able to show up and show out in major ways you want to serve and fulfill the roles in your life that are important to you. Being the best you requires the best of you. Being the best parent requires the best of you. Being the best spouse or partner requires the best of you. Being the best family member, friend, boss, coworker, neighbor, and so on requires the best of you. In order to be the best of you, self-care is required. Not just once a month, every now and then, or after you've ran yourself to the ground. Daily is key. It doesn't have to be an exhausting routine that takes up all of your time, but you deserve some of your own time too. I cannot stress this enough to you. Please carve out 1% of your day to meditate. 1% is equivalent to 14 minutes of your day. I say throw in a bonus minute to make it an even 15 minutes. If you haven't read Ed Milet's book, The Power of One More, it is a must read. When you add just one more minute, one more rep, and so on, you see your results compound in beautiful major ways. It's what sets you apart from the average. It's the difference between good and great. If you can give your kid one more kiss, you can give yourself one more minute to be still. Meditation helps you get quiet and just be. It allows you to connect to yourself. You gain that mental clarity you're looking for. That pause grants you with so many gifts. Those few minutes are a gold mine of rewards. You are better able to deal with your problems because the problems don't seem like problems. They're more like things you feel equipped to handle when it's necessary. It's really an opportunity to see your highest self showing up and handling business with the level of grace and poise you truly want. I can go on and on about meditation, the stress reduction, anxiety and depression management. It lowers your blood pressure, strengthens your immune system, improves memory, regulates your mood, increases self-awareness, and so much more. You don't have to quiet your mind. I think there's a lot of folks that struggle with meditation because they think they have to stop thinking. Thank goodness that is not the case, because as someone who is always thinking, me right here, hello, I wouldn't make it. It's more about awareness as you start to notice your thoughts, not from a place of judgment, but just from a place of recognizing your thoughts and giving yourself that opportunity to determine if you want to think them or not. You can't change what you don't acknowledge, and meditation is a great practice to help you increase your awareness. For me, this is a part of my morning routine, and I noticed a drastic difference if I miss it. Trust me, don't nobody want me to miss it. I also rely on it throughout the day as I need it, and it's even a great way to transition from one thing to the next. With so many of us working from home, there is no car ride to decompress in before the kids come running in and adulting starts poking you in the face. Take a few minutes to meditate after work as your way to decompress from the workday and make a smooth transition into your life. Highly, highly recommend this. I think it's safe to say we've all experienced those times in our life when we don't feel important. What I've found is this can stem from not making enough time for myself, which is why my morning routine is essential. Granted, not everyone can have or even wants to wake up calmly. For me, it's not an option, but definitely feel your way through this. I'm sharing what works for me and also what I've learned from some of the most successful people in the world. That morning routine is key. In the morning, the only thing I grab my phone for is to turn on my Insight timer to meditate and later journal in my Growth Day app. I don't look at notifications, social media, or emails because those are all just a list of other people's demands. I don't even look at my calendar until closer to the end of my morning routine when I actually start prepping and planning for the day. My first order of business is just to connect spiritually and to me. When you start your day grounded, you run the day instead of the day running you. Let me tell you, life and everyone in it will run you if you let them. If you want to feel important and like you have some say in your own life, start the day grounded in the best way that suits you. Making time for yourself says, I love you, I care for you, and I am with you. It's another form of love that you deserve to have. And when you have time for yourself, you can identify what you need and how to fill those needs. This is why I recommend self-care on a daily basis. When you look up at the day ahead, what do you need today to be the best? Every day requires so much of you. If you can fill your cup every day as you go, you will hardly ever run empty. Take a proactive approach, and you'll be so thankful you did this instead of reacting in ways that don't show you at your best. If you haven't gotten the Encourager's Guide to Self-Care, please do. I show you how to incorporate self-care into your day, week, and month. The more you show up for you, the more you can show up for others. I love sharing my favorites with you. My favorite app on my phone is the Growth Day app. The journal feature is everything. If you want to be able to journal literally anywhere you have your phone in hand, this is for you. If you don't know what to write, no worries. You will want this for the science-backed journal prompts alone. It's a great place to reflect, explore, gain new insights, and level up your perspective. This all-in-one personal development app has a great plan section, a place to capture your life scores, and so much more. Now, if you love self-improvement as much as I do, you are going to love what Brendan Burchard has put together. Check out the link in show notes, and I'll see you there. As we talk about self-awareness, journaling is one of my best recommendations. I love the quote from Tony Robbins when he says, if you are in your head, you're dead. Meaning when you are just in your head and thinking about things, you can start replaying the same line of thinking. And if it's negative, you can ruminate, stew, and overthink in a way that won't serve you. You've got to express these thoughts to work through them outside of your head. Get some perspective. Yes, having a coach, therapist, friend, or someone to work through your thoughts with is awesome, but your journal is always accessible. Writing is cathartic, meaning it's a way to cleanse your thoughts. There's something magical that happens when your pen hits the paper. As your thoughts flow onto paper, they gain their freedom. And you gain some freedom too, because you get to release the weight of them. You can also gain another perspective on things as you can see them in a new light, which can relieve stress, anxiety, manage chronic pain, reduce depression and inflammation, increase immunity, and even productivity. It improves sleep, inspires creativity, and so much more. My favorite app for journaling is the Growth Day app because it gives you prompts that are science-backed and tested and really help to give you amazing results, okay? And journal about the real, not just that today was great, but why was today great? Not just that today sucked, but why today sucked. How can you make tomorrow not so sucky? And all the feels that go along with that. When those repeating negative thoughts are pestering you, journal. Get some separation from those thoughts in order to actually process them. In all honesty, I feel like I have so many more better days and not so many problems just because I journal daily. I don't give stuff a chance to fester. When you're holding on to negative thoughts, they start to fester in your body, and that's what prompts illness. Your body feels your thoughts on a cellular level and starts expressing itself through aches, pains, and even worse, all the way up to serious illness. Don't allow negative thoughts to linger and last beyond their welcome. Get them out of your head and body so you can have a healthy mind and body. I am old school, so I do still have journals. I do still put pen to paper, but I'm also new school because, like I mentioned before, I love to journal in my Growth Day app. And when I'm traveling, it's even great on a day trip too. I can journal as I'm cruising along in the passenger seat or not have to have one more item to bring with me on a trip. Now, side note, I'm always trying to keep my luggage below the weight requirement, okay? So every little bit helps. In the app, you can also sort, find, and update your entries really easily. I highly recommend this app because it is my number one favorite personal development tool I use every day because self-improvement is my way of life. The app supports that on all levels. There are also some other amazing benefits in there aside from the journaling. I mean, it's got everything personal development. So I will be sure to link it in the show notes in case you want to check it out for 14 days. Get your little free trial. Ew. At any rate, journaling has a lot of the same benefits that are associated with meditation. Even if you don't journal every day, you'll still receive a lot of the great benefits just from journaling a few times a week. The self-awareness, insights, and freedom you gain is pretty priceless, especially seeing it can be free, right? Because you can just journal inside of the Notes app in your smartphone. Your journal is your best friend that never gets tired of hearing from you. Okay, the last tip I want to share with you is a self-care check. This is something I do for myself that is a game changer, okay? If I feel like I'm lacking something from someone else, I will first ask myself, am I giving this to myself? The times I've felt like, let's say, for example, the kids don't appreciate all that I do. Whenever I'm feeling that way, it's really just stemming from me not recognizing my own self, right? I'm not giving myself that recognition that I need. And also, it's a lack of communication with them. I wasn't appreciating myself for all that I was doing. And as soon as I started getting into my journal, it helped me to acknowledge what I do and be proud of myself for all of it. The recognition not only brought me more joy, but I also started to see it show up in more ways in my life. It also shed a light on an expectation I had of them to understand something that I wasn't communicating to them, like the ins and outs of what I do. You know, honestly, they think that what we do is magic. And unless you pull back the curtain and let them know all the things that go into your magical outcomes, they think it's easy because we make it look that way. So once I started opening up my lines of communication, next thing I know, the kids started thanking me for all that I do. That accompanied with a hug was all I needed to go on. And it all started with me. So I always recommend You go first. When you go first and give yourself what it is that you're seeking outside of yourself, you'll be amazed at how things around you start meeting those needs as well. It all starts with you. Check in with yourself. I know it's not always easy to know what you need, which is why checking in gives you an opportunity to do just that. Level set with yourself and explore why you're thinking and feeling some type of way. You go first is such a gem within itself. You don't have any control over anyone else but you. I know as a parent, we can often feel like we own our kids, but they have a mind of their own and free will, just like we all do. The only person you can control is you. When you go first with giving yourself what you need, you no longer have to look outside of yourself for what you already have within. That gem right there is what my coaching program is founded on, taking accountability for your life. Once you're in the driver's seat, you can live your life by design and not by default. I hope this episode served you up in some major ways, and I'm so excited to hear from you what you loved. I can't wait to hear. Just to wrap everything up, this became so important to me. Self-care really became a staple in my life when I lost my mom, and really just gained a new reverence and awakening for life. There were moments when I was sad that I didn't have the mindset shift when she was alive. Like, why did it take me to lose one of the most important people in my whole entire world in order for me to see things in the positive way that I do now? She made such a big ripple in my pond, and just like the rocks that skim the surface of the water and create such a huge ripple effect across the pond, I realize her life was a major impact in mine while she was alive in the flesh, and continues now that she is alive in spirit. I don't know what it will take for you to have such a huge ripple in your pond that you decide to make the mindset shift necessary to honor yourself through your self-care and truly become the best version of you. Whatever that ripple is for you, it's never too early or too late to decide this is the day to begin living your life as your highest self. The burnout lifestyle is one that no longer serves us. There is another way. A better boosted lifestyle is what we're all after. We ask so many celebrities and leaders for secrets to live a better life, and there's no shortage on information out there on how to do just that. If you need help, get yourself a coach. Get your board of directors. It's a board of professionals, experts, your support team to help you achieve your dreams. Your needs are important. The more you meet your own needs, the more you put yourself in the position to show up as your best self for others as well. The people in your life deserve more than your leftovers. You deserve more than your leftovers too. Let's live a better boosted life together. Encourage over your life, because together we can encourage over everything. Thanks for tuning in. I would absolutely love to hear from you. Please take a moment to leave a review. All you have to do is rate by lighting me up with some stars. And leave a few words. If you share this episode, let me thank you in advance for sharing positive messages, because we all know some peeps in our lives who could use an extra dose of encouragement. And I'm throwing virtual confetti right now to celebrate you for finishing this episode. I don't know about you, but I'm not ready for this to end. So if you want more, check out theshow.encourageovereverything.com for literally all things Encourage Over Everything. Stay connected and join the email list. Get that VIP treatment by being the first to know all the happenings and get encouragement sent right to your inbox. Theshow.encourageovereverything.com has everything that you're looking for, from show notes and all of the info on today's sponsors. And if you are looking to connect with other fellow encouragers, be sure to join my exclusive community at the Encourage Over Everything Facebook group. I can't wait to connect with you in the next episode. Remember, there isn't anything that we can't get through because together we can encourage over everything.